Tonight, Tucker Carlson goes big brain.
Darwin's theory's totally that's why it's still a theory almost 200 years later.
I go even bigger brain.
It's not real!
Into release.
The Earth isn't round!
And we appeal to authority.
But trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Why, hello, my fellow apes.
And welcome to LowFruit, where we go rummaging in the dirt for something truer than true.
I wouldn't say that he's truer than true.
No. And before we get too much into it, there was no plan for us to all look as similar as possible with the...
I thought there was.
I'm the one bringing a bit of colour to the show.
I'm going to get one that's got like a right strip, and then we've got like a perfect... Yeah, that'd be great.
And all I have to do is shave more of my head and it'll be look perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Well, getting to the actual topics of today, because we're not introducing this man, we're just moving straight on. We have... I don't actually know the guy who runs the channel, but he's reviewing Tucker Carlson's big brain takes on evolution.
So smart, so stunning, so brave. Brave to go against the establishment. Let's hear it.
IQ.
Much IQ.
Tucker Carlson was recently on an interview with Joe Rogan in a video that our wonderful, all-knowing, all-wise overlords at YouTube did not want people to see, but thankfully, despite them attempting to put the brakes on it, people did end up seeing it.
Well, it was on YouTube, so they didn't do a good job, did they?
They just take it out.
YouTube didn't want you to see it, so they left it up and available for people to watch.
I love this conspiratorial thinking in the sense that I absolutely despise it. You see this a lot. It's like this community of we're being repressed, and that's why we're on these platforms telling you that we're being repressed.
Shut up! Oh, come and see the violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
Earning millions of dollars.
Yeah, we are the alternative media. We're doing better than mainstream media. That's how oppressed we are. They're trying to get rid of us. Believe me, creationism is having no problems getting airtime.
Tucker Carlson's having no problem getting airtime.
Tucker Carlson has no problem getting airtime.
Joe Rogan has no
Joe
problem
Rogan
getting
has
airtime.
absolutely no problem getting airtime, and Joe Rogan frequently platforms absolute nonsense. And Tribe is part of the model that does well because the world doesn't want you to see this information.
Yeah, conspiratorial. I've worked on UFOs.
Alternative facts while complaining about the woke establishment being obsessed with alternative facts. Yeah,
and they're all published and available to watch. So weird you'd say that.
And one of the moments that went viral was where Tucker challenged Joe Rogan on evolution. Now, quick basis, quick thought here before we start. When it comes to Tucker Carlson, I like him. I think he's likable. I agree with about...
I'm just going to stop there. It's like...
not
I don't really... That laugh to me strikes me as incredibly fake. I don't know if...
Hey, yeah. Okay, that was good.
Like
Guys, out of 10, how good was Reese's Tucker Carlson version? Aiden, you're quite performative, my friend.
I can't do that laugh, but I can tell you that it sounds like there's someone tickling him underneath. That's why he's laughing like
It's
that.
the ball tickle.
That's why he did it to me as well, isn't it? Yeah.
My favourite one is he does it to his own jokes. He'll like drop a joke.
Well, we laugh at our own jokes, mate. We can't complain about that.
But we don't have a laugh of that calibre. You know what? We're actually just jealous.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
just
that's
jealous.
what it is.
But we're very lucky that could be aired on YouTube.
80% of what he says, and I think that 80% of what he says really needs said, and he raises some good conversations.
Like what?
We're going to hear it. We're going to hear it, okay?
Because I'm probably...
80%.
I'm probably the opposite. On an optimistic scale, maybe 20% of what he says is worth hearing.
Yes.
Optimistic.
If you tell me 80% of what Tucker Carlson has to say is right...
He didn't say right. He said worth hearing.
Okay, alright, okay.
Because he agrees with it.
Yeah.
There's a good 20% that I find I strongly disagree with. And I think that he would probably accept those disagreements as being within the valid range. And I think we'd get...
Disagreement, and then he shows a visual of him talking with Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
So this implies that he's not enough of a alpha. He's not into the matrix enough in order to count. So therefore, he has to be further on the spectrum.
But while you're worrying about that, you probably know this as well. He slipped in The 20% is in the valid range of disagreement.
Valid range of disagreement.
Which means the 80% of stuff that he agrees with Tucker on,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be valid to disagree with it. That's the implication, anyway.
That's what I disagree. That's what I agree with him with, and that's not up for debate.
Yeah.
Well, what does this mean as well? It's like if you and I are like, I don't know, we're talking about some ancient culture and we're trying to figure out their agriculture, and then you disagree. Am I able to go, that's actually not a valid disagreement, therefore it can be ignored? If it's a valid disagreement, we can actually talk about it. Like, what does that mean? What work does that do?
Aliens built the pyramids.
That's not
right?
valid.
No. And you're not allowed to disagree with me on that because it's just in that range of...
Oh, fair.
But
sorry, I didn't realize. Okay, good.
But that's not allowed. But what is they're allowed to disagree on is, did they build it from the top down or did they build it from the bottom up?
That's colour the aliens were.
Yeah,
that
what
you're allowed to-
colour? That's what you're allowed to disagree with. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, 9/11 built the pyramids. That's
Yeah.
what I'm insisting upon.
Thanks, Obama.
I think we'd get on well if we met, and whenever I'm on Tucker Carlson, because that'll happen, then we can discuss those. Where he's at in his faith, well, I think he's on a journey towards Christianity, and I think
He's on a journey... Tucker is Christian.
Yeah, he is a Christian. Hold on.
Is he no true Scotsman in this?
He is true. You've
let's-
got it.
well,
No, he is.
okay,
He's
just
right.
yet, let's do
No, because you've got like the 80% thing that he was mentioning
Yeah.
about. Okay, he's only 80% Christian. Okay, he's not got there yet.
well, I think he's on a journey towards Christianity, and I think he's a friend of Christianity. But at this point in time, I wouldn't probably accept his profession of faith as being like totally credible at the...
How is he gatekeeping?
Tucker Carlson out of Christianity.
Think of to gatekeep Tucker Carlson out of Christian. Wow, we're in for a treat, guys. This is going to be something else.
You're not a philosopher. I think you're on the way to philosophy.
I'm on the way to philosophy. I'm a friend of philosophy. That's
Yeah.
good.
I agree with
like
about 80% of
80%
of what you say.
If I was at 83, would I then qualify?
Possibly. I don't
You're
know.
not a YouTuber.
You're not a YouTuber yet. Yeah.
You're a friend of YouTube.
I'm a friend of YouTube.
But at this moment, your professed career of YouTuber,
Is it?
I'm not sure.
I've only got
it's valid.
350,000 subs. It's got to be 353,000 subs, and then you're a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Unbelievable.
What a particularly stupid thing to say.
Wow. Just wow.
The thing I'm concerning here is he's not a true Christian, but he believes in a monotheistic faith.
Yeah.
He's clearly is a creationist, as we're about to see.
Believes Jesus resurrected.
Believes Jesus resurrected.
Prays to the God of Christianity.
Yeah. What other requirements are there?
And he agrees with 80% of his stuff. So
Yeah.
80% is not a passing grade.
To be fair, actually, he's actually doing something that is very Christian. Remember the Protestants and the Catholics going, "You're not a Christian. You're only 80%. That's not enough."
Well, I mean,
Burn the witch.
Don't the three biggest religions in the world all believe in the same God?
Basically,
The same
God of
that's-
Abraham.
Yeah, the God that appeared
Yeah.
to Abraham on the mountain.
They just disagree.
60%.
60%. Yeah.
They largely disagree on what the most recent and last prophet was.
Yeah, but it's still the same God.
Essentially. Yeah.
this point. That said, Rogan has been a big proponent of evolution. As most people know, he's had lots of
Big proponent.
He's
He's just a normal dude in this sense. That he's like most people are like, yeah, evolution's a thing.
he's just a radio host, essentially.
Yeah. It's also like I have basic literacy in science. Yeah, I accept evolution. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes me a proponent of evolution now. Like, wow.
He's just like an interesting guy that has people want to talk to. Yeah, and listens to what they say.
That is a charitable way of describing Joe Rogan.
Very charitable.
I've not watched him in recent years.
Okay.
So I watched him-
He's I get it. Yeah, I get it. But he's only
I-
70%.
I watched him before he looked like 80% less dumb than he does now.
Sorry.
As most people know, he's had lots of evolutionary theory throughout his however many thousand episodes he's done now. People speaking about it from a biological perspective, a philosophical perspective, psychological, all of that. He's had one skeptic on before, which was an interesting discussion.
Skeptic.
train wreck.
I've watched this one.
This is just a full-on pseudoscientist.
Yes.
Just lies about the literature, just makes things up. He's part of it's known as the Discovery Institute. It's a creationist outlet. And they just lie.
One of his claims in this was that there was a debate with scientists, a conference, and they basically said evolution isn't a thing.
Yeah.
And then you go and look at what was actually said, and it was there are more mechanisms of evolution than we are really accounting for. I think this one should be looked into more. That was it. That's not saying evolution doesn't happen. It's just saying, can we put a bit more emphasis on this mechanic?
Yeah, it's pure pseudoscience.
And if I'm correct, he's also the one who sits there going, essentially, well, the genetic code is a code, and you can't change a computer code without it breaking.
He does have elements of that.
That whole watchmaker analogy of the code.
Essentially,
yeah.
And this is, by the way,
rendition of it.
Yeah.
One of the criticisms that Joe Rogan gets is that it is actually dangerous and a problem to have a massive platform and to get people on that are lying and then not be equipped to even see those lies, let alone embolden them. And that's what he did with creationism.
When you're bringing on someone like Stephen Meyer, whatever his fucking name is, I don't really care. Not having someone there to challenge the lies ends up promoting the lies.
Yes. And a video that we might want to do at some point, let us know if you want to see it, is Joe Rogan has frequently had Graham Hancock on. And this is an example of someone who does pseudo-archaeology with Atlantis. And every time he has him on, his audience are like, wow, this is incredible. Because Joe isn't equipped or interested in being able to, in many cases, be able to deal with that. But recently he had an expert on, and the expert absolutely floored him. And to be fair, on Joe's audience, they recognised, oh man, Graham really got tore apart. But that's basically why some people dislike Joe Rogan. It is not smart to do it wrong.
Yeah, it's the platforming issue of, I personally think it is okay to platform someone like Stephen Meyer.
Yeah.
If you have the counter-argument.
Yeah, there's caveats. You have to make sure you've got someone there to actually deal with it. Yeah.
I think Tucker did actually a really good service here to Christians in terms of how we should go about treating this topic, which is basically with dismissal and ridicule. So let's...
I'm glad he thinks so.
Dismissal and ridicule.
I'm glad he thinks so, because that's why I'm here as well, to treat you with dismissal and ridicule.
How upset will you be if we started doing half this stuff with Christianity?
Yeah, that's true.
Imagine if we made up half the lies that they make up about evolution.
They already say that we do anyway.
Yeah,
but
if we actually started doing it.
You know what? Should we start a movement?
So,
should we start a movement? Should we start doing it?
I don't understand where the Christians get their faith from. There's not even any book or anything that they get. It's like, just pull it out their arse.
There's no Bible. It's made up.
Yeah.
Start like this. There's no churches. They've discovered no churches throughout all of it.
They've never discovered a church. Every photo you see of a church, CGI.
NASA is the production of those churches. I like it. I think that's a good idea.
There was no record of Christianity before 1876.
No. That's it. That's true. That's it. It was completely made up. The establishment is lying to you.
Every photo you see of a church is Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
He made it with CGI.
Right, bringing it back in. He just said about Tucker Carlson doing Christians a justice, but he himself is doing Christians an injustice, because the majority of Christians accept evolution now. It's taken a long time of dragging them by the ear, kicking and screaming into modernity, but they've got there. Just as now you've got to the point where, you know what, slavery's wrong, even though Christianity's been perfectly okay with that throughout almost all of its dominion. Now most Christians accept evolution. And so, really, he's doing them a disservice.
But I can see why he would see it as doing them a service.
Because he's part of the old creed, yeah.
Well, no, because evolution, and tell me if you guys agree on this, is probably one of the most damaging things to the Christian faith in the sense that it undermines the concept of Adam and Eve, and hence the fall.
Yep.
If you don't have the fall, what did Jesus die for?
Yeah.
And also, I was going to say, there's people that accept Christianity. They're not Christians. They're on a pathway.
We're on a
to
pathway to
Christianity.
Christianity.
If this guy gatekeeps Tucker Carlson, does he not consider those people Christian?
No, he probably wouldn't consider anyone who believes in evolution as an actual thing. As a Christian, he wouldn't consider it. But it's probably because he wants the full story.
Yeah, that's probably why. But
when Tucker Carlson dies, he's gonna go up to essentially this guy, and he's gonna get the percentage quota out.
Oh god, everyone's going to hell. If this guy's in charge of what is and isn't a Christian.
We made it really, really clear with all of the contradictions in the book that we gave you and all of the history not lining up, and the fact that we said that evolution is false, even though there's nothing in the Bible that clearly states this. I just mess.
That we don't think people are important, but if evolution is real, and if there is this constant, I don't know, but it's
there's a massive.
I feel like the
opponent of evolution right there. Right there.
I don't know.
Is it real? I don't know.
To be fair to Joe, that felt like I'm talking. Shut up a minute, and then I'll get to it. And then because as soon as he says I don't know, he then starts to go, no, wait.
This isn't what I want to. But the thing is that you could just go, all right, we'll put a pin in that and come back to it. Right, it's assuming evolution is true, but instead going, I don't know. It just.
It was a stupid thing to say.
To me, and maybe I'm being unfair here, but I actually use evolution as a barrier to know how intelligent someone is. And namely, if they speak in such a way as to say that evolution is false, I just know they're below the 20% mark. I just know they're below the 20% mark, and really, I'm not going to talk to them about the economy. I'm not going to talk to them about social issues. I'm never going to mention anything that's difficult, because they haven't got their head around a basic fact where we live in the age of information. You don't say maybe.
You need to work with someone like that on what are your standards for evidence.
Yeah.
Because evolution is the most attested to scientific field there is.
Yeah.
So
yeah. If they say,
if you reject that, you basically start rejecting everything else.
Essentially, they go, evolution. Maybe it's false. You just go, here's some crayons. Fuck off.
Oh, I can't.
My crayons are sharpened. The box is full.
Yeah,
bring on the world.
I can't wait to show you a video I've got lined up.
Oh, teaser, guys, teaser.
But it's visible. Like, you can measure it in certain animals.
You can measure adaptation.
Yeah,
but there's no evidence that in fact, I think we've kind of given up on the idea of evolution.
There's no evidence of evolution except for adaptation, and we've then kind of given up on it. Wow.
That is
spoken with the confidence of someone who knows absolutely nothing.
Profound.
Dunning-Kruger.
Dunning-Kruger. That's that thing that you didn't remember.
That's the thing I need to remember. But he's right in the bottom of the curve. Okay. I'm in that box near the bottom of the curve. No, sorry, he's not at the bottom of the curve. I'm near the bottom of the curve. He's on the real tip-toppy left thing of knows literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Super confident.
Yeah. I cannot understate how illiterate Tucker is to say what he just said. To say we're kind of giving up on evolution when it is the cornerstone to so many fields of science, and it's
medicine in particular.
Profoundly vacuous statement to make.
Then again, he might be anti-vax.
Probably
so that would make sense with evolution can't be used.
Yeah.
To me, that's like on the level of saying, hospitals are just giving up on the notion of germ theory.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good analogy. It is, and also to say it while saying we found adaptation. That's like saying, well, like the medical institutions, they found out that there are germs. They found out that there are germs, but they've given up on germ theory. It's just remarkable.
Hospitals are prescribing medicine, but they've given up on helping people.
Yeah,
I don't know if you agree, but I actually have changed my mind. He is doing Christianity a service in helping that trajectory go down and down and down.
The number of people.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of given up on the idea of evolution. The theory of evolution as articulated by Darwin is kind of not true.
The theory of evolution as articulated by Darwin is no longer in use.
No, but he said it's kind of not true. Bollocks.
Well, kind of, in the sense of he wasn't entirely correct on every
Yeah, but
part of
like,
the theory.
if you take his theory, we've built on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't render it kind of not true. Like, he actually...
he
what
had-
did he get
That's like,
wrong?
that's like Newton's relativity. We've got more accurate versions of it now. It doesn't mean that he was wrong. He was inaccurate because he didn't have all the information.
All the data, yeah.
Forgive me, but I disagree with you both.
Yeah.
Darwin's theory is still the same. They've just built on it. They've learned more about genetic drift. They've learned more about coevolution. They've learned more about basically all of these various factors, and it's built and changed his theory. But the premise hasn't. Whereas with Newton, his premise was false, and Einstein replaced it.
There was certain
Descent from common ancestry is still the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and natural selection.
natural selection.
Yeah.
Natural selection. No one is going. You know what? Natural selection kind of gone off that. The only people that are doing that is people that don't understand the damn thing. Like, that is...
Oh, but it's adaptation, but it's not natural selection.
It's not natural selection.
It's just the weak ones dying. It's not natural selection.
Yeah. You coughed on me and now I'm ill, but it's not germs.
But there's no evidence that in fact, I think we've kind of given up on the idea of evolution. The theory of evolution as articulated by Darwin is like kind of not true. Right?
In what sense?
Well, in the most basic sense, the idea that, all life emerged from a single cell organism and over time, and there would be a fossil record of that, and there's not.
Oh my gosh. Like, how are we in the year 2024?
You had to think about that there. In fact, you had to look at the corner of the screen.
I did. How are we in the year 2024? And people can still say this.
With someone of such fame and prominence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a moron, and I know that's wrong.
Right, let's break down his claims. Right, let's deal with those. So, first thing he said was,
It all comes from a single-celled organism.
evolution does not specify that it must come from one entity. The reason why you hear about everything coming from one entity is because we've made advancements, clarified what Darwin said is correct, and it just turns out that if you take the DNA of fungus, if you take the DNA of an octopus, if you take the DNA of Frank Turek, they all come back showing that there's one tree, that there is one situation, like all of it's coming back to one.
Yeah,
so
'cause you
that's
have
where
the,
that comes from. But that's actually not inherent in evolution.
No.
It's the nested hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
So Frank Turek is nested within fungus, which...
So yeah, you could have had it so that there's 6, instantiations of abiogenesis, whatever that might be. So you get 6 like basic forms of life, and then all life emerged from there. Evolution's fine with that. It doesn't say anything about it coming from one specific entity. And you'd think that someone that's going to be so bold in dismissing the entire field would fucking know that. But no, that's too much to ask. That's the 81%.
The whole common ancestry thing, like I said with the nested hierarchy thing, is we can go back to, eukaryotes is the thing that sort of describes us, which is a walled cell membrane, essentially.
You can go back for a lot further.
I know you can go back further, but that's like a basic one. When we're like trying to go to life, it's like, because viruses, are they...
Yeah, eukaryote that would be fungus, plant life, and animal kingdom.
Yeah. Because when you come down, I forget the names for a lot of them. You essentially come down to one which is digests organic matter.
Yes,
and then you come down again, which has a fucking anus.
Yeah,
and then you come down again. Yeah, he stopped at the anus.
I know, mate. I was say he's full of shit, mate. He doesn't have an anus.
And you keep coming down. And the one that most people obviously know about is when you come down to mammals.
Yeah.
The funniest one is when you get like Christians who say, we're mammals, but we're not animals. And you're like...
Yeah, but like his ilk is going to want to say, we're not really mammals. He's just going to go, we're special.
But everything that describes a mammal describes us.
Yeah, but that's because the establishment wants you to do this. They did it on purpose.
And then everything that describes a primate describes us. And then everything describes...
Inside job.
Describes us.
Inside job.
Let's have this thing with, mate, it's like, we are apes.
Yeah.
We are apes. There's not a single trait that we have that would separate us from apes. We just are. We're not something separate. He's like, oh...
Sorry,
Yeah,
And then when you pick something, when they do pick something, you go, yeah, that's a thing that's unique to the species human, Homo sapien. But it's not the category for ape.
No.
I'm still stuck on him saying that we're going off evolution. One more example. Like, honestly, this is like we've used evolution, as you said, for like viruses and all of the like understanding all sorts of things and making all sorts of applications. Medicine is built on it. It is like flying, and then while in the sky, saying we've kind of gone off flying. Like, it's not going to happen. The Wright brothers are wrong.
The second thing they said though was we don't have a fossil record.
Wow. Wow.
Which. And again, the important thing about the fossil record is with regards to the strata that it's found in.
Yeah.
So you don't find rabbits in the pre-Cambrian.
Yes.
You know, you find the simple ones down here, and then we get, coming up, oh, there's dinosaurs, and then you come up again. It's like, oh, there's apes, and come up again. So you never find...
Yes.
You'll never find a human in the same strata that you will find the dinosaurs.
Yeah, every single human is going back maybe 6 million years, right? Whereas all you would have to do...
He's talking about the genus, not
the genus. Homo sapien, 300,000 years. But, like, as you said, 6 million years would be branching off from chimpanzees. But, as you were saying with the rabbit, as Richard Dawkins was pointing out, you show me a rabbit that's in the Cambrian, it's game over. You debunk evolution just like that. It would have such a problem with that. I say debunk, it's not quite, but it would have a real big problem with it.
Hard time explaining.
It doesn't happen. And like, this person's just what? Tucker's like getting on stage and then saying, we have no record. What a moron! Like, God, this is the price of living in the Western civilization, isn't it? You have free speech is amazing, but fucking hell, man! Like, these people they rise to prominence with this.
Well, I think we'll let him dig a little bit further.
Go on,
and maybe he'll find a fossil.
There's not a fossil record of transitionary species, like species that are adapting to its environment.
There's tons of record of adaptation, and you see it in your own life. I mean, I have a lot of dogs. I see adaptation.
That's evolution.
Yeah, that's artificial selection. Whereas nature can do the same.
Also adaptation.
Yeah.
Is evolution.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like the selection force is artificial with dogs, of course.
Yeah.
But like, it's not a big jump to figure out how that works out naturally.
No.
The thing is they want to draw a line.
Yeah.
They want to say things can adapt
within their own little form.
Within their kind.
Within their kind.
They can adapt up to a point.
Yeah, and this is where you go, let's look at dolphins. Dolphins have a particularly good track record with their transitional species. You can see a mammal going into the water perfectly with the strata turning into the pseudo-fish that they are today, right?
They're not fish.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
But they're in that kind.
Yeah, they are in that kind. And yet, like, but to be fair, you can just reject it. You just go, no, they haven't found that.
You could just go, no. Yeah.
No, they haven't found it. Archaeopteryx. What does he do with Archaeopteryx? No, spade up.
So, I'm actually liking this plan. I have to think a lot less.
Oh, does it make you feel more important?
It does, actually.
Ooh.
Makes me feel...
Are you really special and unique?
I am. Yeah. I mean, I've always thought I'm special, but
now you really know.
I really know.
I
really know.
Yeah. Any science you don't like, just hand wave it away. Entire fields.
I mean, everyone...
Not real.
Everyone watching us here probably knows just how important Archaeopteryx was.
Archaeopteryx.
Because the other thing is it was a prediction.
Yes.
And it wasn't something that was accounted for afterwards. Yeah. It was, if birds have evolved, we should find wings where they have fingers, essentially. Because modern birds, it's all fused into one. So the prediction was we will find fingers on the end of wings. Oh shit! There they are. We'll find beaks.
Yeah.
With teeth.
Yeah. Yes.
Didn't he also get laughed out of the scientific community again for making these claims?
People hated Darwin.
Yeah.
Like they still do with Tucker and the creator of this video. They hated him because of what Reese was saying, I think, and that is that evolution is such a sledgehammer blow to faith. You either have to ignore it entirely to maintain your faith, or you have to bring it into your faith, which you can do, but I would argue it does so much damage
Well,
that
the second you bring it into your faith, you have to move away from it being a literal story. It has to be more of a metaphorical story. No, the fall of man is a metaphor for this.
Adam and Eve.
Now you have all the suffering in the evolutionary steps to get to us.
Yeah.
That's hard to account for if you don't have the fall beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the idea that we're super special,
but God works
and special creation.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have really anymore unless you're like, oh, God really wanted humans, so he did all of these really, really complicated steps to get there.
It's devastating.
It's a
devastating
hard one to account
I
for.
think I've got the answer for that.
Go for it.
Mysterious.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I mean, I have a lot of dogs. I see adaptation in dogs, through the litter to litter. But no, there's no evidence at all that zero.
You can say it with confidence. There's no evidence.
Zero evidence. There's no evidence. Zero that Tucker Carlson exists.
The Bible's.
I haven't seen any.
No. Zero. I said it confidently.
Yeah.
Zero. There's zero evidence that he actually met up with Joe Reagan.
No, never happened.
Because he didn't exist.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's no evidence at all that zero, that people evolve seamlessly from a single cell amoeba. No, there's not.
So this isn't just a denial of, say, human evolution. So it's not like a denial of Homo habilis, of Australopithecus afarensis, Heidelbergensis. No, this is a denial of all of it. All of it. So mammals coming from their shared lineage with reptiles. Birds. All of it. Dinosaurs. All of the strata, all of the data. How the fuck can you say that?
Well,
with confidence.
Well done. Yeah. But you can twist it a little bit so that he's right.
Go on.
We don't have the direct line between us and every species that leads back.
No.
Because we don't know which species directly led to ours. What we have is transitional forms that will... Take Australopithecus afarensis, yeah?
Yep.
Can we say that that is one of our lineage for human evolution? We can't say for certain. But what it does indicate is that there are species at the time that are transitioning towards what humans are today.
And it lines up perfectly
in the
record.
Perfectly in the record, in the time frame, and what we'd expect.
Yeah.
So just because it might not be the species in particular that leads to us, doesn't mean that we don't have record of species at the time that could be in our line.
Yeah, I mean, like... God, there's just so much to say.
I reckon he's doing that stupid Christian thing that they do, where it's like the human eye just pop into creation. It's like evolution probably was a single-cell organism that became a human one day, and that's what evolution. They try to frame that as evolution.
Yeah, I mean, like,
because I feel like that's what he's going to try and do.
Well, the thing is, like, you take like chimps, and then you take humans, and you go, there should be some kind of like intermediary if chimps represent actually more of what the fossil record shows humans came from, which they kind of do. Kind of. And so, you go, let's do some research. You find afarensis, for instance. This is distinctly between us. Amazing evidence. Exactly what you asked for. Someone like a creationist, someone like Tucker, I was going to say that he would do what I'm thinking about doing, but actually he just ignores it. But actually what they would do is they would go, okay, now you have the two spaces, right? The Futurama thing. You go, okay, wow. Find Heidelbergensis, you slot that in. Now you've actually got more. And then when you eventually get to the point that we do have with human evolution, which is this amazing lineage, where you can just go, wow, you can see the skull size increasing, you can see the bipedal locomotion coming into place, you can see all of it. They then go, wow, it's not clear, when it changed, so it's all the same form.
No, they just say... No evidence.
No evidence.
No evidence.
None. But zero.
That's them flipping over the chessboard right there.
We also find with genetics. Okay, right. So if we were descended from a common ancestor with chimpanzees, we should have very similar genetics.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we do. Oh, we have different chromosomes, though. Okay, well, again, if we've come from something with a common ancestor, then we should find a fusion site in those chromosomes, which is why we've got a different number.
Yeah.
Oh, we found the fusion site. Mm-hmm. It's like the predictions keep getting met, and then you're sat there going, "There's no evidence." It's like, fucking hell, man! What, evidence doesn't get better than this when you make predictions and they just keep coming true.
Well, yeah. So should we talk about the Bible?
Yeah. Well, what predictions we have in the Bible?
Yeah. The lack of evidence.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, Moses, no evidence. Even the scholars, even the Christian scholars go, yeah, Moses probably didn't exist.
My favourite one is Jesus was going to come back again while the disciples were still alive.
And
we're still waiting.
It's a metaphor. Again, means forever, Reese. Forever. Within your lifetime means within anyone's lifetime.
The problem with that, mate, is... they're only 80% Christian.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. If they were further, they would have been doing better.
They were friends of Christianity.
The church fathers were friends of Christianity.
There's no chain in the fossil record of that at all. And that's why you don't actually hear people, you hear them make reference to evolution because the theory of adaptation is clearly, obviously true. But Darwin's theories... totally that's why it's still a theory almost 200 years later,
And there's the highlight of how he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh, that's a good burn.
That's a good burn. That's a good burn.
Yeah, it's a good burn.
Aidan, relativity's just a theory.
Yeah, just a theory.
It's just a
gravity's just a theory.
Yeah. Also, adaption's just a theory.
I'd like to know if they know what the definition of a scientific theory is.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He can't. He can't know what it is.
Anytime someone says, "Oh, it's just a theory,"
you're showing that you don't
show
know.
that you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And again, just to explain, a theory is the best model to explain a body of facts.
Pretty much, yeah. That's it. And can it account for the data, and can it make predictions like Darwin did and has been vindicated 1,000 times over? Yes, it can, and that's why it's the central theory. Just to be able to say it's just a theory. I'm jealous. These people must be super fucking happy all the time.
Well, they do say ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. It's just not for everyone else.
It's just not for people that have to listen to.
No, being stupid is like being dead.
Yeah,
it's painful for other people.
Totally, that's why it's still a theory almost 200 years later. No, we have not found that at all. And I can't even guess. I mean, I have my own theories on it, but they're not proven.
What are your theories?
Well, it's just a theory, so it doesn't mean anything.
And
it's just a theory.
See, there's the equivocation.
Yeah, that's just equivocation. Yeah,
I have theories. So the fact that scientists have theories, that must be the same thing.
Yes, that's what that means. They're using language exactly the same as me.
I'm guessing, and I call it a theory. So scientists must be guessing and calling it a theory.
Yeah.
That's actually very accurate.
Please tell me that Joe Rogan actually slaps this.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, because you haven't seen this.
I haven't seen this. Please.
God created people, distinctly, and animals. I mean, I think what every person on Earth thought until the mid-19th century, actually.
Right.
So he's got a theory, it's unproven, but this is his theory.
And then
his theory is that God created humans and animals, because obviously we're not...
Apparently we're not the same.
He's just said it's unproven.
Yeah, he did say it's unproven.
And then he said, I basically believe what people believed until, what did he say?
The early 19th century. It's like, right.
Try a bit less than that, but
hang fire, because what you're basically saying is... I prefer to ignore scientific discoveries in the last 200 years.
But he says that it's a boast, doesn't he? He says it as a boast. Right, okay, right.
Tim Minchin.
What one's that?
Close your eyes and shut your ears.
Oh, yeah.
The accumulated knowledge of the last 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And morally, guess what? You're off the hook. Yeah. And thank God you only got to read one book.
Excellent.
But, this is like you'd have someone on stage going, I've got a theory on what shape the Earth is. I happen to believe what everyone believed until about 3,000, 4,000 years ago. And then you start laughing as if I'm the cool dude here, right? I'm the one that gets it.
I think what every person on Earth thought until the mid-19th century, actually.
Right.
Come on. What is this, Ed?
It's my retro look.
People in the north, a few hundred years ago, used to think that the Aurora Borealis was Odin on his wild hunt, and he would steal
very
souls.
true.
And I prefer to believe that.
That's it, done. Yeah, they have no evidence to suggest otherwise. Zero. It's a theory.
Lightning is Thor.
Lightning.
There's no evidence otherwise.
No. And you don't see it, do you? You just see what the establishment tells you, and it's a theory.
But Thor said he killed the frost giants.
No more frost giants. Very, very true. No more frost giants.
This idea of people used to believe it, therefore I do. Wow.
But he doesn't go all the way. You know what? I'm going to say him and the person that's going to be reviewing this, neither of them are in the top 5%, because he should be saying slavery is perfectly fine. I believe basically what Christians and everyone believed until 200-300 years ago.
He's essentially a coward here because he's picking and choosing.
Yeah, he's
what
picking
he
and
wants.
choosing what he wants.
Cafeteria Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you don't pick 100% of what he picks,
That's
you're
true.
not Christian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You've got to pick exactly what I pick, the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Or you're not Christian.
Yeah. You've picked up a few bits that I haven't. You're not actually at a buffet.
You can't sit at our cool kids' table.
No.
Unless you picked like cherry tomatoes. you don't have cherry tomatoes.
Get rid of that broccoli. That's not allowed.
I think you're a friend of the buffet.
Yeah.
Definitely a friend of the buffet.
Now, do I agree with Tucker's take here? I don't want to say yes at this early stage, but at this early stage, I would like to say yes.
And that's why you are stupid.
So stupid.
Okay, good.
I don't want to agree with him yet because that might make me look stupid, but I do agree with him. Yes, you. This is, we did say we're going to do some ridicule and dismissal because that's what he likes. So.
Yeah, it's fair game.
Yep.
Yes, I do. I absolutely agree. I think it's amazing that evolution has been put forward as this very secure scientific theory that basically can't be questioned.
No, it can be questioned, but it is a very secure theory.
The reason it's been updated is because it can be questioned.
The reason that
we've added
drift.
stuff to it.
The reason was
genetics at all.
Well, how do they get away with this? They just tell their audience there's a grand conspiracy, and they just fucking believe it.
They also tell their audience there's a magic man in the sky that grants wishes, and they believe that too.
Remember,
yeah.
A flaw with science is that it changes its mind with new information. However, it can't be questioned.
Yeah, with religion, it actually can't be questioned. It's been the same for all this time. Yeah.
No, it can't be questioned, and it still had to change.
And it's still... and then
the whole time going, no, I don't want to change.
Screaming, clawing, nail marks.
It's not real.
Into release.
The Earth isn't round.
I don't want to release the slaves. Women shouldn't have rights.
Exactly.
We're like, have some fucking morals, Christianity. And then they're like, look at how moral we are.
Yeah,
look at everything
we did.
You pick them up, you put them in the suit, and they go, wouldn't be this good if it wasn't for Christian values. The West needs us. We're falling apart without us.
Look at the countries that are most atheist in Europe and they're fucking dying. No, they're really, really not.
No, they are perfectly good. They do the highest on the happiness index.
Yeah.
But that's big bad data. They're just telling you.
Yeah, that's big bad data.
You know what? Happiness reports are just a theory.
I think it's amazing that evolution has been put forward as this very secure scientific theory that basically can't be questioned or talked about in any other way than positively. And I think that this actually provides us a good opportunity to talk about why that isn't the case. I have done a first for this channel. I've created an incredible multimedia PowerPoint presentation here on this sheet of paper. You'll also notice that my handwriting is beautiful. And I want to kind of go through an overview of the theory of evolution.
What we've got there is I can see it's going to be a straw man.
Well, he's got, was it stage 1 speculative physics?
Yeah.
You're not talking about evolution.
No.
Stuff to do with evolution.
Nucleosynthesis.
That's nothing to do
Nothing
with
to do with
evolution.
evolution.
And then abiogenesis.
Nothing to do with evolution.
So we've got 3 steps to go through.
Goodness me.
He's Kent Hovending us.
This is some Kent Hovend.
He's going to Kent Hovend us.
Do you reckon he thinks Kent Hovend is 90%?
99, I reckon.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'll probably say 78.
Ooh, okay. No, I actually do think he thinks Kent Hovend and Ray Comfort and those kinds are based. I reckon.
Well, Ken Hovend's only 98% because he does believe in a round Earth.
Oh,
if he had a flat Earth as well,
that's
he'd
true.
hit
That's
the
true.
100.
That's sad.
And for anyone accusing us of straw men, I don't care.
So you start off, there's multiple stages of evolution. People think it's just basically the tadpole to human thing, but actually...
No.
Tadpole to human.
Tadpole to human, oh, for goodness sake.
No.
The thing is, they hate it if you was to, like, straw man Christianity by going, a man in the sky.
Yeah, they hate it.
And yet, like, they just go and do exactly the same thing to
you know
evolution.
what?
Even though evolution is
even though they
compatible
do it
with...
by mockery,
Yeah.
I prefer the molecules to man one because that at least makes sense.
That actually does make more sense, yeah.
Or if you actually say nothing you claim has any proof whatsoever, they get so upset with you. But then the thing you actually have proof of, they're like, no, there's no proof for that. It's like,
No proof for that.
Here, the science, it's there.
Yeah.
Blew the eyes shut. And put
You're
the
like,
cotton
no.
in the ears.
This absolute tripe of completely misrepresenting evolution here. Suppose that someone got on stage and went, I'm going to prove to you that Christianity's false. And then, like, stage 1, they're talking about, you know, something completely irrelevant to theology, like completely off base. You wouldn't tolerate that nonsense.
No.
And yet what? You meant to tolerate it when some idiot does it like this?
Yeah.
Because we said it, we were joking earlier when we were talking, obviously, adaptation is evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because the theory of evolution is the change in allele frequency in populations over subsequent generations.
Mm-hmm.
So none of that has to do with, because he's going to, you see it there with speculative physics, he's going to go Big Bang.
Yeah.
It doesn't, change in allele frequency in populations, that doesn't say anything about the Big Bang.
No, nothing.
So it doesn't even say about how the population started.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It just says descent with modification, essentially, is as Darwin put it.
Yeah. One more angle on that would be that if you had a theory about the weather, it's not meant to explain where water comes from. It's meant to explain within an ecosystem what's going on.
What we've already
happens
got.
there, yeah.
Yeah, change within what we already have,
Yeah.
not how that got there. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of evolution that has to happen prior to that. So, what do we start off with in the theory of evolution? Well, we start off with nothing, right? Well, basically nothing. Not quite nothing. It's called the singularity. But it is basically the idea that the whole energy and mass of the universe was squished down and concentrated into a particle-sized thing.
And do you know where the idea comes from?
Big Bang. Georges Lemaitre or Lemaitre.
Lemaitre with, so a Catholic priest.
Catholic
not
priest.
A Christian.
Not a Christian. No.
Friend of Christianity.
Friend of Christianity, the Pope.
But not a Christian.
No.
But the idea is essentially if matter and energy can't be created or destroyed, then it has to have originated from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're observing an expansion of the universe in all directions. So what we should expect then is that it will have all come back to an early point, and then you've got the cosmic microwave background radiation. Yeah. Not going to get too much into it because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know about it.
Yeah.
But again, the way he summed it up of mostly nothing, then that became everything, is not what the ideas behind it are.
No.
I mean, like, what he's got in his head is it's either Christianity or evolution. And so what he expects evolution to do is give you a supplementation and an explanation for everything that Christianity claims to explain. So Christianity gives you an explanation, apparently, for the universe. Whereas
He'd get upset if I said God spoke magic words and then the universe popped up.
I'm not actually sure he would at this point.
Well,
I think he is actually in that higher percentage of like more literal reading.
But they wouldn't like me. They don't like me calling it magic.
Yeah, okay, but they wouldn't disagree in principle. I don't think so, because if you're getting someone that's got to like creationist standards, like I'm not
How about if God did a pagan festival and that's how he made the Earth?
Yeah,
that might piss him off.
That would certainly piss him off. But he's expecting evolution, which is compatible with Christianity, to somehow compete by having an explanation on abiogenesis, on the formation of matter, on the beginning of our space-time manifold, and it's just I can't waste my time with this person. Like, that's not what you do it.
The main reason I don't want to spend too much time on it is, again, has nothing to do.
It's
with
just game over. Like, the video's done.
Yeah,
like, it's just awful.
And you have matter and antimatter coalescing and particles being created and destroyed and all of that stuff. Now, how do we know that this then became this, right? So it blew up, Big Bang, right? You've heard of the Big Bang Theory, not the TV show. This Big Bang, where the universe was created. How do we know that happened? Well, what we have is this incredible process, really good process, called speculative physics.
No, we have a theory.
But he doesn't know what theory is.
I know he doesn't. He would call theory speculative, wouldn't he? That's what he would do. It's just a theory.
Just a theory.
Yeah, like you've got the cosmic microwave background. You've got the Doppler effect on stars. Like, there is lots of evidence to indicate. Redshifting, exactly. You've just got the whole... Yeah,
that's essentially to do with how time isn't consistent as well, isn't it? Essentially,
things moving away go red. Yeah.
No, don't really of that. Right?
No, it's just a theory, man. It's just a theory. Yeah.
But what it is he thinks about stuff and has an idea for it, and therefore that's what the big boffins do as well.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's not. So theories are predicated on facts and prediction.
He's on.
So one thing that we predicted, one thing we saw was like the redshifting, and then what you would predict is the microwave background, and we found it. Like, it was predicted, and then it was found. Was it like
he doesn't understand how these things work.
We're wasting our time.
See, this is where Christianity gets it wrong. They make a lot of predictions which don't turn out to be right.
Yeah, they do,
and then accommodate the stuff. After the fact, when it's like, right, okay, shit, we were wrong, so how can we make their thing fit?
Now, what is speculative physics? I hear you cry. Speculative physics is where you get a bunch of really big-brained boffins and they sit down together and they just poke around in the dark and give a guess, right?
And that's how you get the Bible.
There ain't boffins, mate.
Well,
actually, like, for their time,
first century boffins.
Being literate was actually very smart back then.
Ancient boffins.
Yeah, there would have been ancient boffins.
Yeah, that person murdered people and wrote about it. Muhammad. He actually didn't write about it. But.
No.
Yeah.
That's speculative physics. We have no idea how this happened or what this was, but we kind of hope that it's true.
A magic man in the sky. Spoke some words, everything came. We have nothing that proves it, but I kind of hope that it's true.
Yeah, I mean...
And that's a more accurate representation of him than he's just done for physics.
What he wants us to believe...
He wants to equate the idea of science with religion.
But, like, it's almost worse.
It's projection.
It's projection, but, like, you want to say you're in the same game as me, you've got a religion... But, like, think about what his theory entails. You have scientists from all over the globe. It is a globe. You have scientists from all over the globe.
We'll get to that.
With different agendas, with different perspectives, different religions.
Not Christian.
And they're all coming together, they're boffins, independently, and going, yeah, Big Bang's a thing. Like, yeah, the evidence really does support this. And yet, this guy is selling a narrative that they're just pulling it out of their arsehole. They're just making it up on the spot. They're just, like, getting high and going, ooh, that's a really good idea. Let's get that into the textbooks.
And over the decades and centuries, nobody's turned around and gone, hang on a minute.
What if people came from, mate? What if people... All right!
Oh! And the thing is, they're like, I'll tell you what, guys, in 13 years, let's have a discovery come up that actually clarifies
We've
the
got
theory.
It out. His idea of a boffin is Joe Rogan.
Yes, it is! That's true. Yep.
But we kind of hope that it's true. And why do we do that? well, God forbid that there might be a God. No pun intended. Okay.
It's compatible with theism.
Yeah,
and
it is.
remember, so the Big Bang came about because we don't want a God.
And a
Except
Catholic
for
priest.
it was a Catholic priest that
came up with the idea.
Moving on.
Okay, so that's stage 1, right? Stage 2 is this. Stage 2 is the evolution of the elements. Basically, at the beginning, the theory is that you start off with hydrogen. I've done a hydrogen. It's very pretty, this hydrogen element. And of course, we know today that we have lots of elements.
So again, part of the thing behind this is if elements were arising as the universe cooled from the initial hot dense state, what we should see is an abundance of the simple elements, hydrogen and helium, and then everything else in increasing rarity as they get more
complicated.
And what do we see?
Good prediction.
Hydrogen and helium. They're every hydrogen in particular is one of the most common element in the bloody universe.
All over the damn place. Yeah.
Oh shit! That's another prediction that came true.
I know, but they just decided it will come true.
Yeah,
they just wrote it in. They're like, this will come up at some point, and they're really good at hiding their conspiracy.
It was speculative. It doesn't matter that
your
the speculation turned out to be accurate.
Things. Yeah. Have you noticed with this guy's sarcasm, which we're giving him now, to be fair, or at least I am, but that's my modus operandi. Have you noticed with the sarcasm he's using? I think he's had to deal with a lot of people trying to get through to him, and they've ended up getting pissed off.
Yeah,
and now he's got the same kind of disposition of you're an idiot, man. Oh my god, it's speculative. Look at my lovely hydrogen, isn't it lovely?
He's got a lot of pride in being deaf to evidence.
I can see why I like Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
And of course we know today that we have lots of elements. We don't actually see them or witness them evolving, but don't worry everybody, there's a very good reason why these elements that we don't see evolving definitely did.
Elements evolving? What the fuck you want about?
Because he just wants to stick it all in one theory, doesn't he? You just want to go evolution has to account for this. It doesn't. It just doesn't.
It doesn't understand what evolution is.
No, he doesn't.
All he knows is we've got to stand against it. He's got no clue.
And then he's just applying that language to, chemistry.
Deep down in the very core of stars, there's this process called nucleosynthesis. And nucleosynthesis is what creates all of the other elements that we see today. Now, unfortunately, can we test this? Can we observe this? No, because it's happening really far away in probably the least possible place to test anything of this nature, the very core of stars.
Goodness me.
Now, I don't know much about astrophysics and stuff.
Yeah, but
but I know they can conduct analysis. I can't remember what the method is, so I'm not going to talk about it.
No, that's not how it works. You're meant to just speak about it.
Go confident,
you
mate.
Understand?
Chest up.
I've done more reading on evolution and stuff in the last few weeks, and my physics knowledge is lacking. So that's obviously the thing I'm going to have to go back to.
Can you do the physics?
I can try. Yeah.
Okay.
They know how to do it. It's done. There's no evidence for nothing else. There we go.
All right, sweet. Yeah.
But in terms of things that we can observe, supernova.
Yeah.
Formation due to gravity. It's the accretion.
What the accretion? The accretion's when the
planets. It is accretion.
Yeah.
So that's observable as well.
Yep.
So
the accretion from the fields. Yeah.
There's a model that can be built from the things that we've observed.
You know what? I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
I'm going to do what he can't.
20 minutes later.
Right. So when I said about the sort of analysis, the one that we brought up on Google here essentially is that each element emits light at specific wavelengths, so they can analyse what light is coming out and therefore infer from that what the elements are in the formation and destruction of stars, essentially.
Yep, so there's one line of evidence. Another is the cosmic microwave background. When detecting that, what you can see is the time, the duration, and you can see that as there's more of these suns appearing, as there's more of these stars happening, as there's more of this fusion, you can see more elements. But if you go back, there's less of them. This is telling you, the further you go back, you end up with basically just hydrogen. Then there's more helium, and then there's more, this is... The fact that he doesn't know this and wouldn't just Google it wouldn't just look it up. Go, why is it that they think this? What is the evidence? Because then I can address that rather than just saying that they're speculating. This is the lazy attitude of these kinds of people.
He needs to set aside 20 minutes to open a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, Wiki would have got him to understand.
So that 5 hours later, he's clicked on all the links and opened 37 different windows and had a good read.
Yeah, that's it.
Spend an afternoon as Steve.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But imagine doing this with theism. Imagine just going, God can't exist because otherwise he'd be able to create a rock so heavy that he can't lift it, and then not looking up what theologians have had to say about this. But just saying that's the case.
And just make random...
Just thinking, on the topic of evolution, right, you got a new channel coming out, Extinct.
Oh, yes.
Should be hopefully out at the time this video is, so I hope I haven't preempted anything. But obviously I'm helping with the production of these videos, and every single time I start looking into one of these animals, oh, that seems interesting. Let's have a look about how they know that.
The wiki spiral.
Oh, they know about... Oh, that's interesting. How do they know about the habitat?
Yeah.
And you go back and you start looking into everything. It's fascinating. I don't understand how someone can speak confidently on any of this without having read any of it.
Yeah.
Because it's fascinating stuff. And I actually find the concept of, oh, God did it, is actually remarkably boring in comparison to the way that things were actually done.
There's no explanatory value.
A miracle is less interesting than reality.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
As the astrophysicists would tell us, trust me, bro, that's a good reason to believe in stage 2.
Trust me, bro.
That's what you do with religion.
Or just Google it like we just did.
Except everything he's going to say here is projection.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
Is my priest told me, therefore true.
I'm signed out. This guy doesn't deserve my time.
I get it. This is how I base my faith on. This is what you base your evolution faith on.
Yeah.
It's projection all the way. I despise this way of thinking. If I do something that I know is stupid, I'll assume everyone else does it.
Then, after stage 2, you have stage 3. We've kind of skipped over the creation of the Earth. That's where a force, personal, miraculous force called gravity.
What's gravity got to do with evil?
No. He doesn't believe in gravity.
He doesn't.
You know why? It's a theory.
True.
Wow. Okay, he doesn't believe in gravity. Oh gosh, you didn't need that brush, did you? It's destroyed now. Okay, good.
It's mine.
Oh, okay. You didn't need that brush.
He doesn't believe in gravity.
Wow. I don't know if there's anything really to say on that, but it does give you the quality of thinking that he's put into this.
Yeah,
he
big
doesn't
brain.
believe in gravity.
Big brain. Fuck.
Miraculous force called gravity pulled in a bunch of dust and gas to make the Earth, and then also put a moon 1/400th of the size of the sun, 1/400th of the distance to the sun, so that we could have lovely eclipses. Really amazing, this gravity thing.
Wow, so, oh my god, the arrogance of these people. So his idea is that the Earth, the moon is positioned in that place so that we can enjoy an eclipse every so often. That's his idea of that's how anthropomorphic he is.
He's doing the whole place thing. But if it was placed there, why is it on such an inconsistent orbit?
Yeah.
Because it's not a perfect circle around it, same as we're not a complete perfect circle around the sun.
No.
Although, sorry, that might be controversial to him that we orbit the sun.
It's just a theory.
It's not written in the Bible, is it?
I always feel like this by the end of these videos, Reese. I always just I've had the energy sapped from me. Like,
little bit more.
Anyway, we're skipping that, and we're going to the creation, the evolution of life from non-life. So what happens? Well, here on this planet,
the evolution of life from non-life.
He's using the word evolution to just mean change.
I don't even know if that's what he's doing. I think he's just using it as a placeholder.
Welcome to our world, Aidan. We have to deal with this shit.
When he was talking about evolution of the elements, it was essentially a change.
It changed, yeah.
So, or evolution.
But it uses the same word, so it's part of the same theory.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing.
It's just equivocating.
Exactly. Equivocating common usage with the theory.
Yeah.
Which is what Ken Hovind does.
You have volcanoes that are going off constantly, and they create an atmosphere, and then that atmosphere produces rain. Sorry, you need my diagram. That atmosphere produces rain on the rocks, and it rains and rains and rains and rains, and it creates a primordial soup, and that soup spontaneously creates life.
So the primordial soup model is one of many hypotheses.
Yeah, we don't know, like, the answer to abiogenesis.
There's no theory.
Right.
There's hypotheses, yeah.
Exactly.
That's about
so
it.
there isn't actually a model yet with enough evidence in support of it.
So you don't have a theory?
No, we don't even have a theory.
Don't even have a theory, yeah. Have we created amino acids in the building blocks of life
we've
in a
got
lab?
steps.
Yes, we've actually created more amino acids than there are in us. Like, so it wasn't hard. So this little scenario that he's coming up with, we can create amino acids. That's actually some decent evidence towards, okay, these things can come out of a synthesis of this kind. So that's just a fact. We've done that. But like this is God of the gaps, isn't it?
The RNA hypothesis, which is currently going on.
Yeah, RNA hypothesis. Is that DNA is a emerged from RNA, yeah,
which is because you can get self-replicating RNA.
Yes, exactly.
So there's ideas, there's models, there's bits being tested. Just because we don't have the answers doesn't mean that there isn't one, and therefore God.
And also, this has fuck all to do with evolution.
Also has fuck all to do with evolution. But the thing about abiogenesis at the moment is, like, we've got step 1 and step 10, and maybe step 4, and maybe 7.
Yes.
So we're trying to find out where everything else in between it is. We're not there yet.
We're not.
It's fine. If anyone says, how did life come to be on Earth? I don't know.
We got from the starting block, we got everything pretty much up to that.
Once we've got life,
yeah.
Oh my God, there's evidence for things.
We don't know how this podium got there, but we know where we know everything starts from the starting line.
Yeah, like that's what happened. Like, just life is very simple. It is not molecularly complex at all.
So the life that would have arisen back then isn't going to be anything like the life we have today.
Yeah.
Single-celled organisms are not complicated.
And yeah, that's actually something that's predicted by evolution, by the way.
Even the single-celled organisms we have today are more complicated than they would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this evolution predicts that.
Yeah.
But, of course, he's just going to say that's not true.
Life is very simple. It is not molecularly complex at all. Like, single-celled organisms, dead easy. Anyone can make one of these. You've probably seen this at home. When you're making soup, you throw in some vegetables and some broth, and after a while, oh dear, an ostrich has spontaneously appeared in front of you. That's what happens. So that's...
You've probably done it at home. You've said abracadabra, and a rabbit has appeared out of the hat.
Yeah. You've probably done it at home. I mean... Okay, I won't lie, I really enjoy this guy's sarcasm. It's actually brought some energy back into this. I'm done. I'm done, boys.
But we haven't got to evolution yet.
We haven't got to evolution.
We're not going to.
It's the next step, look.
This better be good.
And so this is how life was created. And this process is called abiogenesis or abiogenesis. I don't know how you pronounce these words, okay, but that's what it's called. The beginning of life from non-life. And, of course, unfortunately, like some of the others of these, it's not something that we can see or demonstrate or replicate, but once again, faith in evolution is all you need.
Are you sure?
They are conducting research on it to replicate it. That's the whole point.
No, but you can replicate evolution.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah, we do. It's with dogs all the time.
Yes. You can see it. You can know it. Like, we've got all of this evidence, but you're right, he hasn't got to evolution yet. He's counting these prior... This is that Ken Hovind stuff, isn't it? Like,
Didn't they...
Anyway, you promised you was going to get to evolution. I'm waiting for this.
Oh.
No, go on. There you go.
Just say, didn't they breed fruit flies to not have genitals anymore? In a lab sometime.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Could be wrong on that one.
Well, if you are, we're cut.
Yeah.
No, if you are, we'll leave it.
We'll leave it.
Faith in evolution is all you need. It's kind of like me saying that whenever I was 2 years old, before I could walk, actually, in a meaningful sense. I was toddling, but once, when nobody was watching, I actually ran the 100 metres in 2 seconds flat. Can't do it again, can't replicate it, but it really did happen, and that's the good thing.
Why don't you apply this
to the Bible?
To the Bible.
You just won't.
Once, when no one was watching, God created everything.
Yeah.
I can't see him do it. I've never seen him do it. I've never seen God since. But he definitely did it. Why don't you... Can you not... The staggering sort of... just... Sorry, my mind is melting.
I know.
How oblivious you can be.
Once, when no one was watching, in a cave... Jesus came back to life. It definitely happened, bro.
It definitely happened, bro.
Trust me, bro.
I can't show you it. I can't demonstrate it.
No one's seen him since.
There's no extra biblical evidence for it.
He's never turned up again.
He's never turned up again.
He's supposed to, but he never did.
The book that is inspired by him is full of contradictions. It doesn't make sense if the data are alive today. But trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
And that's the good thing about evolution, is that we don't need to actually see it, we just need to believe it, which is wonderful. That's how science should work. Science. And then you have stage 4, and stage 4 is known as macroevolution, and that's what most of us would think of whenever we think of evolution, and that's where you...
What he's just said is evolution is what most of us will think of when we think of evolution.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Because we don't think about the Big Bang or nuclear synthesis and abiogenesis when we talk about evolution. We talk about evolution. So we're finally getting there. So, what is macroevolution? Is he going to tell us? I don't care if he's going to tell us. Macroevolution is really just a creationist term that keeps coming along because there is no separation between micro and macro. All we do for macro is when we have the idea of biological species. So we're talking about speciation.
Yeah.
And biological species is a term that's a bit, contested at the moment. Yeah. Because it's all a bit blurry.
So, okay, they're going to buy microevolution. As Tucker was saying, adaption's definitely a real thing. So they go, look, you can breed a Great Dane and you can get a Chihuahua out of one lineage of dog in several hundred years. Look at the immense adaptation you can do with artificial selection, that's human selecting it. And, it stands to reason that nature can select when, there's not an intelligent agent doing it because, it's natural selection. That's what it is. It would be normally slower, but that's what's going on. You have this accumulation to the point that you get these massive differences. And then you go, okay, so if you keep adding those up and you do it over a span of billions of years, there you have it. That's evolution. And they go, no. It has to stop. It has to stop at some point. Because that's macroevolution, and I'm not happy with it. Give us some evidence.
No, it needs an intelligent, intelligent creator.
They get level caps, do they? And then they go, can I please change?
Yeah.
What they want as evidence for evolution is a thing that would disprove evolution.
Yes,
they want the crocodile.
Yes, they do.
They want the crocodile.
Yeah, they do. You're right. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. That's amazing. Their standard of proof for evolution would disprove it.
What most of us would think of whenever we think of evolution, and that's where you take this very simple single-celled organism, once again, not molecularly complex. Anybody could make one of these in their home with almost nothing from nothing, which is, incidentally, what happened.
He just said that it wasn't. No, but he just said it wasn't.
It wasn't.
He was talking about abiogenesis, which he was calling a version of evolution, or evolution itself, where he was talking about things that existed, so not from nothing.
Yeah. But he's going to be doing this, we can't get multicellular from single-cellular. No. Funny thing is, that has been done in a lab.
Yeah.
Amoeba, or whatever it was, suddenly just became an insect. Just decided, I'm going to be an insect now.
That's liar!
That's just lying at this point.
Yeah, that's the most ridiculous, what's it called? The example for evolution I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's not single cell goes, I'm going to be an insect.
For starters, there's not a conscious decision made.
No, of course not.
He can't be for real. This can't be like he can't. He's trolling.
I don't think he is.
He's trolling.
He's never looked.
I've got a theory. He's never
looked up taxonomy in the ranks and cladistics. And
most people haven't. Mate,
well, this is when he was trying. This is what was funny earlier on. He's going abiogenesis or abiogenesis. Like he didn't know how to pronounce it. And his audience, though, like what he's admitting is not just that there's a variation in pronunciation. He's saying I haven't looked it up.
Yeah.
And so his audience are going to go, yeah, don't blame you. Where is the intellectual integrity?
There isn't any.
Good point.
And again, that's very simple, and it doesn't take trillions upon trillions of molecularly complex and difficult adaptations, almost all of which would be counterproductive. No, it immediately...
Whoa. What do you mean counterproductive? That's what the selection process is about. The things that don't help the creature survive are weeded out. The things that benefit it... Because what...
Thrive.
What's the...
So
E. coli, isn't it? The main thing that defines it is that it can't synthesize citrus.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's a strain that can, because that's the food source that it was
for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing that really defined it was going to kill it, so it evolved so that it could process it.
But vaccines are just a theory. Like this is all just a theory.
I might have picked the wrong thing, but I think I've got the right one there.
The principle is definitely.
But yes. I know it's been demonstrated.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is how God chose to make it so that his own creatures built in his own image would adapt to smallpox. It's just like, smallpox is going to ravish you and absolutely devastate you. But don't worry, the very small percentage, the 20%, okay, the 20% that don't die of it, you'll get to reproduce and then eventually you'll be alright. But I'm also going to make it so that the smallpox knows that and develops consciously so that it can make it so that it's competing to be able to kill more of you off. Lovely arms race.
No, none of that happened.
No, that happened.
Don't worry.
No, just decided one day.
It's just a germ theory.
Just a germ theory.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. And then Invisible Man in the Sky one day went, "Let there be wasps that sting people's eyeballs. Let there be flies that lay lava in their ear canals."
Aren't flies and wasps the same kind? Will you have to make it both?
Only one of you can get on the ark. The other one can flack off. We ain't got room for bees.
You got wings.
We've already got the wasps.
They're the same kind.
Yeah.
Let there be snakes that tell humans to eat a fruit that I've told them not to, so that I can punish the humans later. Let there be genocide.
I feel like you need a German accent for that one.
Well, I haven't mentioned him in a while now.
Don't you start bringing him back into it. We're trying to get monetised. We've got 0 patrons at the moment, okay?
We've got 2.
And we've got 2 patrons. 2. Have you sent one of them a letter?
I haven't.
Right, you're going to have to write out a letter. Write stage 1 and then whatever letter you like.
No, it immediately went to being the peak predator of the species and ran around killing all the males and sleeping with all the females, and they reproduced. And then one day, one of those insects just manifested an eye.
Insects have eyes.
Oh, yeah, insects have eyes.
No. He's saying they didn't.
Insects have lots of eyes.
This is what they're known for.
No. But they appeared from magic. Those eyes.
He's like, the primordial insect had no eye.
I love the apex predator had no eyes.
I feel like I've got to get Bloodborne referencing. Grant us eyes.
Wow, this is hurtful. This is.
I love the way he's trying to describe it. It went from a single-celled amoeba to suddenly an insect, which killed all the other men so that it could fuck the women. Insects, and then that. It's like, what are you doing, man? This is not...
This sounds like a good religion.
I love the confidence that he's got.
I know.
With something he's got zero knowledge of. I mean, I'm not smart and I know how wrong he is.
Very easy to do. Once again, simple. and the one with the eye ran around killing and sleeping with everything. And then the
Right, I'm just going to stop there because I actually can't be bothered now.
Yeah.
But
You know
the eye thing, we've got the processes to get there because we've got light-sensitive cells on some animals.
No.
Because you've got... was it the bearded dragon?
Yeah, bearded dragon. They've got a light sensitive, quote unquote, eye on the top of their head, so they can see birds.
Shadows, more specifically.
Shadows is actually what they can see. This is very rudimentary, but because it can get that sense data, it obviously has a massive advantage over
What
something
if-
that doesn't have it.
What if it had lots of those light-sensitive cells?
Then it would be freaked out all the time. But obviously, it's such a big advantage that, the ones that have that are going to be able to reproduce. And so there's a selection for it. And the birds that can actually get better at picking them up are going to be selected for. And you get an arms race where you get an eye that can see the predator and a predator that can see
With
the...
increasing detail.
Yeah.
So you go from this
But
very simple light-sensitive cell to a multiple of them, so that you've got a better range of
And
what
then
it
you're better
accepts.
off it
Now we
goes
need
into
some
a kind of curved area, doesn't it?
so
then you
focus it.
Oh, depth perception
Yeah.
would be useful, wouldn't
That
it?
would be very helpful.
Yeah. Colour? Ooh.
But you also want to protect them, so some sort of lens over
Some kind
it.
of lens over it, because if you damage it, you're in trouble. And over a billion years, over millions of years at least, or to be fair, in some cases,
And obviously,
eyes have
we're only
actually come up quite
providing
quick.
one very sort of rudimentary
but
understanding of how we got there.
But remember, he can only go inside of his form.
Yeah, it's
So his own kind. So it might just be that actually you can get
It's a level-
little
it's a
bit
level
of an
cap.
eye.
It's a level
level
cap.
cap. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
level cap. He has to wait for the expansion, and then he gets to go from there.
Everything can move in their kind
Yep.
until God goes, another one.
Well, my dude, we
Yeah,
have
that's
built a
done.
nice little one for you. Stage 1. Magic Grandpa spoke words in a place with nowhere to travel. And he did so in a language that doesn't exist, and in a time before time.
Yeah, that's stage one.
That's stage 1.
That's stage one. Stage two.
Profit.
No.
Oh.
Stage two is light was created before the source of light.
Yes, that's true. I like that. Yep, sun comes afterwards. Stage 3 is just be forever ignorant and be proud of it.
Oh, I was going to say stage 3 was when he spoke words which gathered up all sort of mud into a pile, and then he spoke more words that made the mud start getting up, walking around and talking.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
And then stage 4 is everything bad that happens is our fault.
Yeah. That's about it, really, isn't it?
And stage 6, give me money.
Stage 6
profit. There we are. Profit. Give me money. Yeah.
Stage 5 is profit with PHO. H-E-T. And then stage 7 is...
Stage 5, profit. Stage 6, profit.
Yeah. Nice, I like it.
All right, well...
Tune in next time.
All right, well, bye!
Bye!